Well, I don't believe that has too much to do with it.
Well, it
I
does.
think we
Look at my
understand.
neck.
Think she didn't take it out of the bottle, did she?
No.
I think that we all understand your particular problem. And as you'll understand, I can't give you legal advice over the air.
No, I understand that.
However, I'd advise you to sue. And if you'll stay after the program, I'll try to help you out. Are you working, sir?
No.
How long have you been unemployed?
About 1923, 24.
Since 1923 or
Oh,
so?
when I...
Roughly
school.
thereabouts. In other words, roughly about 26 years you haven't worked.
That's right.
Uh-huh. And you have eaten regularly during this time?
Yes.
How have you managed to get 3 square meals a day?
Well, I haven't eaten so much that you'd think I'd get fat. I mean, any eating I've done has just been to keep me together.
In other words, your wife
I ain't been glutton about it.
Your wife has supported you, sir, during all of these 26 years. Do you have any children?
Oh, yeah, sure.
How many children do you have?
10.
You have 10 children, I see, and you haven't worked since 1923, sir?
No.
Well, I think you've got a good point there. I think you should do something about this wife of yours.
That's what I want. I want to get
Definitely,
the
she's
underwear
no
and
good.
socks back.
That's right.
It's a big thing with
she's
me.
no good for you.
No. She don't love me.
And I think that
But I love her very dearly.
if you'll stay and see me after the program, I'll try to do all I can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
problem.
Thank you, Mr. Costello. Abbott. Are you Abbott?
Excuse me, it's 1:15.
Oh, is it that late? 1:15. Well, now let's take another look at some of these.
Oh, you know what we have is a wonderful commercial today. Is our friend Mr. Gutland's Music Nook out in Norwood.
Oh, yeah.
I see you have a sheaf of commercials there.
I have, to say the least, a chief, Bob.
Most of them are repetitious. They are 15-second commercials which have been typed one after another on a page, and if you read all of them, you're reading the same thing over and over. I'd suggest we forget that, wouldn't you?
Well, I suggest that we merely talk about the Music Nook at 707 Washington Street in Norwood.
You know, the other day I made a very serious blunder. I said 707 Main Street in Norwood.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if Washington Street is the main street.
It is one of the main streets, but everybody, it seems, knows where the Music Nook is, so we don't need to point up the address too much.
Oh, you know where it is then, friends? Okay. Well, do you know their telephone number? You know, you can phone orders over to the Music Nook, and they'll fill them gladly and with a great deal of zip and pleasure. The number, and we'll let you burn this into the dining room table.
Probably a Norwood Exchange, I
It is. It's Norwood 71174.
Ask for Irv when you call up.
He'll be tickled at the talk.
As well as records, and their featured RCA 45 RPM player, which is the biggest thing in records this year, as you know, for Christmas gift giving.
Yes.
And the records, the 45 RPM records, which go with this player attachment. Mr. Gutland has made special arrangements with the Bob and Ray Record Company to stock the famous Barry Magoon record of Mule Train and I'd Like to Be a Cow in Switzerland.
Does
He
he get
does
that?
have a limited stock of them, and you can either write to him or you can drop out there in person. Naturally, he'd like to have you drop in and shake your hand.
Well, I don't know if I want to shake his, Bob. I mean, should we watch our wallets when we do that?
No, he's a pretty fair-minded guy, I understand. And
Well, I mean, should we keep our eye on the door?
well, yes, you could do that.
I mean, that's always a good advice, friends. Walk in backwards
Take
and never
precaution.
turn your back to the door.
That's right.
Never.
And he has a wonderful photographic department out there, you know.
I know that. Lands, it's wonderful. You get everything in the photographic line. He has, for instance, friends, so basic an item as a camera. I'm sure he has.
And the film to go with it.
That's right, and the shutter and all like that there.
I don't think he rents his dark room, but you could ask him.
I suppose you could. And come down and spend an evening there with him.
They're open, too, every evening from now until Christmas, until 9 o'clock.
Incidentally, they also have the 45 RPM records and record players. And I'd like to talk to you briefly about those. I know you've all heard about them and wonder what they are. I don't know what they are, but they are something and they're here. I'll read you what it says. It says, play RCA Victor's new distortion-free 7-inch records through your own radio or phonograph with the RCA Victor 9JY. Now, this is an inexpensive record player attachment. You can get it at the Music Nook, of course. It's the easiest, surest operating changer ever designed.
Tell him the price, that's the big thing.
Price, friends? Why, certainly.
I know you have it
Well-
right on the tip of your tongue.
$12.95. And they have a complete list of all those 45 RPM records, you know.
You can get popular or classical, Western.
Western, that's what I
Whatever
like.
there is. I like the Sons of the Pioneers
Western.
myself.
I can't get enough Western music. What else do they have on them? They have kids' records, too, I suppose?
Yeah, children's records.
I suppose they have everything.
The best thing for you to do would be to drop out there and look them over yourself, because there's plenty of time to get one of these players for Christmas. They have a good stock of them out
It's a
there.
good place to buy or to do some Christmas shopping, too, friends, I might add. It's
You'll
open.
be surprised the number of gifts you can take care of at the Music Nook. This is in Norwood.
I'm on the air now. See me at 1:30. 1:30. The Music Nook is open until 9, right up through this
He's on the
season
air
now.
now.
Will you please explain to that bill collector that I will be out
He'll
at
be out at
1:30?
1:30.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
Now, I think I'll run over to the piano here.
All right.
I have a special request for the folks at the Music Nook. They wanted to hear this.
Oh, thoughtful of you to remember them, Bob.
And I think it's rather a nifty version of a very familiar song. One that probably...
I have a request. I don't suppose you'd play under the double eagle for me.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
Maybe someday soon.
Thanks,
But
Bob.
this is my new arrangement of the Pagan Love Song.
Ooh.
I think you'll like it.
Okay, go ahead, Bob.
Then I just fade myself out there, you see.
Very unusual effect you employ there, Bob. How is it you do that? Now, I was watching you over here at the other side of the studio where I'm standing, and I'm wondering just how you did that.
Well, I have a tom-tom at my feet here, you see.
I see that. Mm-hmm.
And I just tap on that and play the keys with my fingers.
I see. And then
Okay.
how did you get that fading effect? Did you move the piano and slide along
I
the floor?
pushed the piano with my other foot.
I thought you did. I mean, I didn't know for sure.
I ended up out in the hall.
I know. Come on back in, Bob.
Well, I'm in now.
Oh, swell.
I'm standing at this microphone over here by the door. I
Probably
had it placed.
confusing for those who don't know radio.
Well, we like to describe radio. We like to go inside radio and bring you the background to the news as you hear it now.
So many people have an idea of radio as being what they see in the movies whenever they see a radio there.
I mean, all announcers don't look like Don Wilson.
No, do they all look like Tyrone Power either? I'm the exception, because I'm such an outstanding-looking young man. Bob here, on the other hand, isn't. Bob, I would say, was frightening. Would you say that, Bob?
I would say that,
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, Bob...
Yeah, I'll go along with you on that. I mean,
Bob has been known to curdle milk at approximately 10 paces.
oh, 8.
8 paces?
Sure.
What do you know about that?
Oh, I'm ugly.
I know that, Bob, but...
Well, I'm not really ugly. I mean, I'm pretty good looking.
You're tolerable.
But,
You see, I'm outstanding, friends.
take it from there.
Oh, gee. So many people want to know what you look like, Bob. I thought that you should describe yourself today.
Well, I'm
That's
tall.
what I did.
I'm handsome.
No, that's
Dark
me.
hair.
That's me. I'm tall, Doc Hanson. Irresistible and very wealthy. And, I have everything that anyone should have.
No, but I think we should describe more of the pertinent facts about radio.
I got by that.
Don't you?
All right, what should we talk about radio?
Well, we've mentioned the announcers.
Oh, yes, we've had enough of them. Land sake, they're the blight of America's life.
We do have studios.
Yeah, and the last word, too, believe me.
What was that last word we heard?
Wow! That was the very last. It's someone else that fell through the woodwork here.
Well, every station has a studio orchestra.
That's right, and we also have a news department which analyzes, or rather takes the news and writes it for radio, which is quite a job. We have one of them in here today. I'd like to talk with him.
Will you come over here, sir, and tell us your
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. You don't work here at this station?
No.
No.
No, I'm from a other radio station. I'm a newsman.
I see, and what is your job?
Well, my job is to take a piece of news copy and put the word well in front of it.
In other words, if the statement says a water main burst in Chelsea.
Yes, I merely put, well, a water main burst in Chelsea.
Uh-huh. Now, let's take another type of story. Let's take a bank robbery, say.
Well, a bank robbery, I always use the term, well.
Do you have other terms that you use, too? I mean, that would start a...
Well, I like to always arm state troopers with blue steel revolvers.
Well, do you ever start a story with meanwhile?
Oh, yes, of course. I use all sorts of connectives. Meanwhile, elsewhere, overseas, here in New England.
You're at home.
Down south.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, in the nation's capital. Out on the far west coast, I employ. Up north.
Up north.
Another one.
Mm-hmm. You don't say down east.
At sea.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the greatest news story you've ever covered?
Oh, I believe the greatest news story this past year was the Red Sox getting Al Zarilla.
You were out there to cover this?
I covered that story. I saw it breaking.
Did you write the story up in glowing terms?
Yes, and I wrote it and I scooped everyone on it.
You did?
You probably remember.
I do remember that, and I believe you received some sort of award for that.
I did. That's right.
Would you care to tell us about it?
Well, the award was a loving cup, and it was presented to me by my co-workers.
Well, that was nice. Was it engraved to you?
It was placed on my head, and I had to call in the fire department to get it off.
And that made another story right there, didn't it?
It just shows you how these things really move along.
Well, for coming here today and
lightning strikes twice, so to speak.
Telling us your story, we want to give you this check for $100 from the Bob.
I don't want it. I'll tell you now. I'm taking that check.
This is from the
Bob
Ray Foundation.
I don't want to take your check. I think you...
Sound man, I wish you wouldn't use Kleenex for tearing up checks, will you? It doesn't make a good noise.
I don't want to accept that check. Tell you why.
We want you to accept
No, I'll tell you why I don't.
Why not?
Not big enough.
Well, thanks anyway, and accept this little
I
flower.
was only kidding, Abbott and Costello. I think you're great.
Thanks a lot. We thought that you had a very interesting story, one that merited bringing to the attention of all New England.
If anyone would like my photograph, that I believe it's suitable for framing, simply send your request to me and I'll get it right out to you.
And your name?
Scoop Flerdlip.
And your address?
This station.
Okay.
Scoop Flerdlip, care of this station.
Good. Well, we'll look for your picture in the mail real soon.
Okay, be glad to send them out. I only have a few thousand left.
The program kind of sags here.
What's that again?
Oh, Ray, I was talking to you.
Oh, what, Bob?
Say, the program is kind of sagging here, but it really doesn't make much difference because we're practically through.
Well, let's give up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's a heavy program, isn't it?
Believe me, a half hour is pretty heavy to lift, I'll tell you that.
Well, this half hour's gone by rather rapidly.
I want to remind everyone once again about the sponsors. Remember, U.S. Steel brought you the first 5 minutes of the show, so whenever you think of steel, buy U.S. Steel, or any of the others. And then the following 10 minutes brought to you by General Motors and all their fine automobiles.
And the burglar kit brought you the next 5 minutes.
That's right. And
remember that phone number for the burglar kit?
The United Nations bought 10 minutes of the program.
And then there was the music nook squeezed in there somewhere.
And Chesterfield, America's greatest Sturtley. Think of it, friends. Think that cigarettes are as handy as a pack of Chesterfields. I mean, it shocks you. It makes you realize that this world has really moved ahead when you can sit at home, for instance, and reach over and grab a cigarette. Just as easy as that. Think
well,
of it.
sturdily to all. We don't have a theme today, do we?
No, could you sing it, do you think, collegiate or something?
I don't know the words, but I'll dig them out for tomorrow.
Ken and Bill are in the broom closet, friends. Ken and Bill get mad at
They've been bad, and we have to take measures.
Ken and Bill are located at the at the Broom Closet. Ken Wilson and Bill Green at the piano and organ. And we hope that they'll be with us again tomorrow.